Hi, you're watching Sealclops book reviews. I'm going to be reviewing I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jennette McCurdy today. Enjoy. I'm Glad My Mum Died, written by Jennette McCurdy. This is a fantastic non-fiction memoir or biography written by the actress herself, Jennette, about her life up until she left acting pretty much. I read this book when it first came out as an audiobook, as the physical book hadn't actually been released in Australia yet. So all we could get our hands on was the audiobook, and I'm very glad I did. It's very interesting. So the genre is memoir, biography, mental health, humour, contemporary. And I combined these next two questions I usually answer. So how does the book compare with other books in the genre, and how does it match up to my expectations of the genre? So this is the first and only biography book I have really read. I've never had an interest in reading memoir, but was drawn in when I saw all of the publicity surrounding this book. It was very well written and drew me into the narrative much more than I expected it to. The chapters were not too long, so I was able to listen to one while out and about without having to pause halfway through, which is, I love having a proper stopping point so I don't go, oh, what happened just before this? Jennette has dealt with amazing obstacles and did not hold back when she wrote this book. It was simultaneously shocking, inspiring, and heartfelt. The summary. A heartbreaking and hilarious memoir by iCarly and Sam and Cat star Jennette McCurdy about her struggles as a former child actor, including eating disorders, addiction, and a complicated relationship with her overbearing mother, and how she retook control of her life. Jennette McCurdy was 6 years old when she had her first acting audition. Her mother's dream was for her only daughter, to become a star, and Jennette would do anything to make her mother happy. So she went along with what Mum called calorie restriction, eating little and weighing herself 5 times a day. She endured extensive at-home makeovers while Mum chided, "Your eyelashes are invisible, okay? You think Dakota Fanning doesn't tint hers?" She was even showered by Mum until age 16 while sharing her diaries, email, and all of her income. In I'm Glad My Mum Died, Jennette recounts all this in unflinching detail, just as she chronicles what happens when the dream finally comes true. Cast in a new Nickelodeon series called iCarly, she is thrust into fame. Though Mum is ecstatic, emailing fan club moderators and getting on a first-name basis with the paparazzi, Jennette is riddled with anxiety, shame, and self-loathing, which manifest into eating disorders, addiction, and a series of unhealthy relationships. These issues only get worse when, soon after taking the lead in the iCarly spin-off, Sam and Cat, alongside Ariana Grande, her mother dies of cancer. Finally, after discovering therapy and quitting acting, Jennette embarks on recovery and decides for the first time in her life what she really wants. Told by refreshing candor and dark humour, I'm Glad My Mum Died is an inspiring story of resilience, independence, and the joy of shampooing your own hair. So, the plot and theme I wrote. So in this memoir, Jennette McCurdy talks about her upbringing in painfully explicit detail. She begins with her mother's hoarding in a poverty-stricken house. She goes on to explain the many different forms of manipulation her mother put her through on a daily basis, some of which I just read through in the summary. We witness her transformation into the family cash cow and her blossoming concerns with her appearance. At the age of 11, Jennette recounts the conversation her mother had with her, which began her lifelong eating disorder and body dysmorphia. She goes on to talk about her hatred of acting, working for Nickelodeon, and the relationship she made along the way. Along with all this, Jennette spoke out about her conflicting emotions when her mother once again was diagnosed with cancer and slowly began to fall victim to the disease. So, pacing, emotion, ending, and plot holes. The pacing of this book was so easy to read and in chronological order as well. The book just flowed and it was very easy to read while understanding everything included. Instead of writing a bit about the main characters, as that's the point of the whole book, I put some pictures in place of Jennette herself. In the middle is the best one I like to look at. This is her with the magazine advertising her book, which is one we're reviewing today. The recommendation. I would highly recommend this book to everyone out there. It shows the unglamorous side of fame and stardom. It describes the real-life struggles the child stars go through while growing up and what they are forced to do to deal with them. This book shocked me. I highly commend Jennette for having the strength to write this book and share her personal struggles with the world. She did this to educate, and it would not have been an easy thing to do. And I actually give this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing, shocking, eye-opening, very easy to read, and I would probably go back and reread it in a few years' time, just because I'm sure listening to the audiobook I may have missed bits and pieces, and I'd like to go and make sure I hadn't. So I strongly think that people of all ages should read this book. Jennette shows an amazing strength and determination to take control of her life once and for all. It also elaborates a bit on the life of a child actor, and that is not all glamour. And anyone who's wanting to get into that lifestyle or anything like that could potentially learn a few things by reading this book before diving in. So that is my review on I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jennette McCurdy. Please let me know what you think below. Thank you. Bye.